All too often throughout our day, we find ourselves holding our breath or taking short, shallow breaths into the chest. And this breathing pattern really comes from bracing and waiting for the next thing, and stems from how the world comes at us at a faster and faster pace each day. So for this practice, we want to come into a really comfortable position. So that might be seated, laying down on your back with the legs straight or the knees bent. You might want to put a pillow underneath your knees, just coming into a really comfortable, relaxed position so that the body can naturally release tension that it may be holding on to. And we want to start by just noticing the natural rhythm of our breath. Tuning in first to how we breathe naturally. So maybe you're inhaling and exhaling in and out of the nose or the mouth. We're not trying to fix or change anything here. We're just becoming familiar with our familiar pattern of breathing. What feels most comfortable to us when we're relaxed and not necessarily focused on the breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, or maybe your belly. And just tune into the subtle movement of your body as you breathe. Just notice. Bring attention to the nose, the mouth, the shoulders, the chest, and the belly. And if you want, you can bring your hands to your belly. Sometimes the sense of touch can help us get a better sense. Just noticing movement in the belly as you inhale and exhale. Maybe bring hands to the chest. Noticing movement or lack of movement here. Just tuning in to the natural, familiar, comfortable rhythm of your breath. And you can rest your arms, your hands, wherever they feel most comfortable. And we're going to bring a little more focused intention into the breath. So inhaling And then exhaling and making the exhale 2 or 3 times longer than the inhale. Just allowing that exhale to be longer than the inhale is a more relaxed way of breathing. And we're going to practice a couple different ways of breathing. We're going to bring some focus into the chest, allowing the chest to expand, and then we'll bring focus into the rib cage, allowing the rib cage to expand and deflate, and then down into the low belly, allowing the belly to expand and deflate. But we'll start with the chest. And again, if it feels good to bring hands to the chest for a better sense of movement, you can do that. But on the next inhale, we're just going to allow the chest to expand into our hands. And then slowly exhaling, allowing the chest to deflate. And practicing this breathing pattern at your own pace. You don't have to follow my guidance. Just making it a relaxing way of breathing. Inhaling, allowing the chest to expand into the hands. And then really drawing that exhale out, allowing it to be longer than the inhale. And just practicing this way of breathing, inhaling and exhaling in and out of the chest. Noticing how this feels. And then bringing hands down to the rib cage. Just cradling the rib cage with your hands, and on the next inhale, allowing the rib cage to expand outward into the hands. And then slowly exhaling, allowing the rib cage to deflate. Inhaling, allowing the rib cage to expand out into the hands. And then making that exhale longer than the inhale, allowing the rib cage to deflate. And continuing to practice this rib cage breathing at your own pace. Just noticing how it feels. Noticing this movement of the body as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the differences between this way of breathing compared to the chest breathing. Tuning into what feels more relaxing, more comfortable, more familiar for you. And then bringing hands down to the belly, allowing the hands to just relax on the belly. Noticing natural movement in the belly as you breathe. And on the next inhale, allowing the belly to expand into the hands, almost like the belly's expanding like a balloon. And then slowly exhaling, allowing that belly to deflate. Continuing this breathing pattern at your own pace, just allowing the belly to expand into the hands on the inhale. And then lengthening that exhale, making the exhale longer than the inhale, allowing the belly to deflate. And just continuing this way of breathing on your own, at your own pace. Noticing how this belly breathing compares to the rib cage and the chest breathing. Noticing what pattern of breath feels more comfortable, more relaxing, or more familiar to you. And then just coming back into your natural rhythm, your familiar pattern of breathing. You can rest your arms wherever they feel most comfortable. And without that sense of touch, just noticing the gentle, subtle movement of your body as you breathe. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest, rib cage, belly. Noticing the flow of air in and out of your nose or your mouth. Noticing the coolness of the breath in the nose or the mouth on the inhale. The slightly warmer sensation in the nose or the mouth on the exhale. And just tuning into the state of the mind and the body now. After practicing some breath work over these last few minutes, tuning into if there's been a subtle shift in how the mind and body feel. Thank you for joining me today in this practice, and throughout the rest of your day, just notice every once in a while how your body breathes.